Well, welcome to this qualifying round free video guide with tournament wins for the Summer Shores Tournament Expert Division here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. A thumb up would be greatly appreciated. Make sure you're subscribed as well. Plenty of drops here to get you started. Remember, take a token, put some tweaks in or find some alternative approaches based on what I'm showing you here according to your club's play style and balls you have available. A couple of tricky angles as well, but remember, take your time and make some notes. Great starting point here. Remember to join us on the channel throughout the rest of the week for opening and final round as well. All stages covered here. Here we go. We have an albatross on this par 5, a red ring touching the rough on the left at top of +10 with APOC 5 and 6. 5.8 top spin, half a bar of side spin to the right. APOC 4 you will be at P3 max rest with 20% of the red ring overlapping the rough on the left. If you've got APOC 7, you will be at +10 as well, but you will have 80% of the blue ring overlapping the rough on the left as your rings are smaller because you've got more accuracy. Just max +10, power 3 for me. That is going to be 6.6 rings, but for you, you need to make sure you're using a calculator at all times because your wind strength and your club accuracy may vary to what I have in the video. Centre the ball and hit perfect. A great right with APOC 4 might find the rough here, so be warned about that one. Guard against it if you are likely to hit great right, but a perfect will always be fine. Drive distance around 365. Second shot, we're going to make a fringe check. So bullseye over the fringe where it meets the fairway in line with the pin. Then we're going to add our spin, 5 backspin and 2 bars side spin to the left. Once I've done that, I find my position here and I'm looking at the tip of the ball guide. I want that going to the front of the cup in line with the pin. So aim dead centre with his spin added. For a +7 fringe check, we're going to play this one 80% slider, 20% elevation. Now that's +7 with sniper 10, that will be +9 with sniper level 9, but you're still going to use sniper 10 numbers. Okay, so 80% slider, 20% elevation with that fringe check there, hitting perfect, and you're going to have a very good chance here at dropping the albatross. We're going to use the rock here, and I'm going to go with 2.5 top spin and 3 bars of side spin to the right. Okay, 2.5 top, 3 right. Bullseye in the middle of the first fairway. With the rock level 8, you'll be at the top of +3. And with the rock level 9, you'll be at the top of +2. Now, you can use the rock level 7, however, you will most likely adjust into overpower. The adjustment here is 1 to 1, so 7.8 wind, we're going to go exactly 7.8 rings. So very easy here, and we like the rock here because the fairways are narrow, but it's an accurate club, and we've got ball guide as well. So minor greats are going to be fine. So 1 to 1, centre the ball and hit perfect, and this will bounce over very nicely. We'll need the sniper for the second shot, and you'll see here the drive will roll down the middle of the next fairway. And the drive is going to be around 315 to 320 yards. Second shot, we're going to add spin first. 4 back spin and 3 right spin. And then we're finding our position with the ball guide there. You'll see ball guide. I will zoom in for you so you can see that. Ball guide is around half a green square short, but it's aiming at the pin. We're going to use our landing position plus yards. Now, +2 with sniper 10 will be +4 with sniper 9. And in both those cases, you are going to adjust 75% slider, 30% elevation, because there's crosswind here. That's going to affect the ball quite a bit once we've hit that first bounce. But we're using power 2 settings, so make sure between or whenever you can before your second shot, because we're using 1 to 1 on the drive, make sure you've got power 2 loaded in. And we're always going to use sniper 10 numbers, even if you're playing with sniper 9. So 75% slider, 30% elevation, dropping right at the pin for a lovely eagle. This is a very, very tricky hole, actually. I'm going to show you a bounce up shot in the interest of keeping it free to play. But this one is very difficult. 3.9 backspin and 3 left spin. It's a no-move target shot with the Grizzly, so load the hole with the Grizzly and your power 3 ball. We're just mid plus 15, power 3, and we're always going to use Grizzly 9 numbers, even if you've got a lower level Grizzly. Now, the alternative here, if you don't want to do the bounce up and you want to take a practice token or two, will be try a rough bump, but you would need a sniper and a Wind 5 ball with low power, otherwise you'll pull back and hit the min line. The rough bump, in my opinion, is the best chance, but like I said, limited in time, so just wanted to show you a safer bounce over. But luckily here we sneak this in for a reference drop here on this par 3. Now, on this par 4, we're going to set up a P3 max rest, and we're going to add spin. 5.8 top spin, 1 bar side spin to the right. With APOC 5 and 6, you'll have the white ring touching the rough on the right. APOC 4, you will need to stretch 1.7 rings into overpower, and you would have half of the white ring overlapping the rough. Max plus 10 is the adjustment here. Now, rather than pushing up for APOC 4, I'd actually leave it where it is, but then add on some extra overpower. Now, with APOC 5 and above, I go with just before circle break overpower, so it's about 1 ring. With APOC 4, you'd need to add on your 1.7 rings, so you'd be looking at around 2.5 to 3 rings of overpower. We do get a speed roll, but I've never risked the rough here, and even if you do take a flyer into the rough, which is unlikely, you'd still be able to save the birdie with the Nirvana. Second shot, we're going to play a rough bump, and we're going to have our sniper packed here, and we're going to add spin first. 5 backspin and 1 bar left spin. And I want the inner yellow ring, or the green ring, touching the rough with the ball guide through the hole. Plus 2 is displayed for our landing position. That will be plus 4 with the sniper level 9. And the adjustment in those cases is going to be 75% slider, 0 elevation. And that's exactly what I did in the video here. I would recommend you put a small tweak in here, because I just sneaked this one in on the left hand side, so I would be tempted to aim maybe through the right hand half of the cup. It will bounce lower than where we aim because we adjust to a lower point, but I compensated for that in the setup. So just sneaking in there, tweak the aim if you want to drop dead center. Very, very nasty hole here. This will need wind angle and wind strength tweaks, but it's a navigator shot and greats are safe on either side. With a quarterback and a navigator, we're going to go with 1 backspin and 1 left spin and have the yellow ring touching the bunker at the complete minimum distance line. 1 to 1 minus 1 is the adjust. So for a 9-mile-an-hour wind, I just 8 rings. In higher winds, you will need to tweak this shot. So if you've got the time on your shot clock, then you'd have to very quickly clock the wind with a Kingmaker, then make the switch to a navigator, adjust, and then switch back to a Kingmaker. We're going with circle drop overpower here as well, otherwise you will be short, so make sure you've got circle drop OP. It's a very complicated setup. Watch this one a few times and please practice it, because it's very tricky, but the hole-in-one chance is there. Find our position with the quarterback here. This is a real nasty wind angle. P3 max rest before spin, ball guide pointing down the middle of the fairway. Then I'm switching to extra mile cataclysm bag. Max top spin and 2 left spin with the extra mile 9. Now I wouldn't usually recommend that because of the accuracy, but great balls, single greats are fine either side. Max plus 10, then we're going to go full overpower and 3/4 ball curl to the left. It is going to be a bit of a shaky needle. If you've got APOC 7 plus, obviously switch to that instead. It's going to be way more accurate. If you're worried about a double great right, then I would set up a little bit further left or increase the curl. But you want to get safely down there around 365 yards. Now, we're going to use the Cataclysm or the Big Dog, whichever gives you 6.5 top spin. So we're going to use that, and then 3 bars left spin. Then I'm looking at the second bounce. I want it to be at least 1.5 rings beyond the rough. Otherwise you may clip the rough and roll out. So make sure you're finding that position there. And we're going to use landing position plus yards. Plus 3 is going to be 78% slider. We're going 10% elevation. It will take you into overpower even with a Kingmaker. Make sure you add that on, and then add on 1 additional ring. The reason I'm doing that is just to make sure I'm going to clear the rough. outer wall curl or half a ball curl to the left. It's up to you really how you want to play it. I wouldn't go with too little curl here, because then if you hit a great right you might roll into the rough. But it's all about judging the top spin and the overpower. Just get yourself safely to green, take a token or two and get comfortable with it to save your eagle. If you're enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to support that and help keep it free, we've launched a brand new patreon.com homepage. There is the link. There are lots of perks if you want to become a member over there. All support of the channel is massively appreciated, and it will help, of course, to continue to provide the Golf Clash content here for you. So please go and check that out over at patreon.com/BK Golf Clash. This is a very tricky and frustrating hole, and in qualifying round all I'm after is a cheap birdie with an outside chance of a hole-in-one. Max backspin and 1 left spin with a navigator, and we're using the Rocket. Now I'm setting up here with pretty much all of the yellow ring on the fairway. Ball guide there, the tip of it, 2 green squares short of the pin. This is tweakable if you like, but it's very, very difficult to find consistency regardless of where you play this hole. Even the rough bump is glitchy, that fairway pad is glitchy, and the sniper bounce over from further back is also a little bit unpredictable. So it's one of those, depends how much time you want to invest. But here for reference, min -5, power 1 settings. If you want to tweak it, go ahead. If not, a perfect ball should always be a very, very safe birdie, and you're not wasting a kingmaker. It's only with a navigator. So for me, in qualifying round, that's quite all right. We're going to use the rock here and lay up in this headwind angle. 3 top spin, 3 right spin, and we're looking at the red ring touching the rough on the right, top of +3 with the rock level 8, top of +2 with a rock level 9. 1 to 1 is the adjustment, so 8.2 wind, we're going to adjust 8.2 rings. Very straightforward, no calculator needed. Then we're going to take our shot and we're going to go with outer wall curl to the right. If you were just into overpower, I would add that on to your shot, but in my case here, I didn't need to do that. Bouncing very nicely, and we need the Goliath here for our second shot, so make sure you pack the Goliath. 316 yards is where you want to be. 2 top spin and 1 left spin for the approach, and set up with the ball guide just going through the back of the hole. You'll see there's a small gap between the inner ring and the rough line, but the primary focus will be the ball guide, because of course you will have different ring references with different levels of Goliath. Landing position plus yards, +2, we're going to play 86% slider, 5% elevation, pull over the bullseye, and it's 2% per yard. So if you're at +3 when you start, then you're going to play 88% slider and so on. Centre the ball and hit perfect, and you've got a very, very good chance here for an eagle, catching the rough very nicely, rolling up the slope on the green and dropping nicely. Quite a nasty one on this par 5 as well. We're going to set up with the red ring touching the bunker, top of +0 with APOC 5 and 6. Adding spin, 5.8 top spin, 3 right spin. If you have APOC 4, you will be at the top of +6 with 20% of the red ring into the sand. Adjust max +10. It is going to take us into overpower even with APOC 5+, unfortunately. You can see there pulling into half a ring of overpower. So I'm going to employ that on my shot, but then add on another ring as well. 1.2 ball of right curl. Look at the gap between the ball and the shot circle. So in the end here, we're looking about a ring and a half to 2 rings of OP. Focus on hitting perfect. Minor great left and right with APOC 5+ should be fine. APOC 4 is going to be a bit more overpowered than that. You could be looking at about 3 or 4 rings, to be honest. So if you want to go for a higher power ball, then that may be wise. Second shot, 5.2 backspin and 3 left spin. This is really my objective, just to get to green for the eagle. If you want to tweak it though, then you can do. But an albatross is always tough on this one. So, red ring touching the rough, ball guide as shown with spin added. +8 with sniper 10 will be +10 with the sniper 9, pretty much level crosswind. We're going to play 90% slider, 0 elevation, a ball and a half of left curl just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. We hit perfect here, like I said, just looking to get to green. If you want to tweak it, then go with less curl if you want to go for the albatross, but there we are with a safe putt for the eagle. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.